Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya De Satarine. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha kalpataru vesya kripa sindhuvya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripa tamaham bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Mishwaram. Hare Krishna. Are devotees able to join or they are facing problem still? Hare Krishna. Devotees able to join? Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji. Actually, devotees are able to join too, but sometimes link is not working. So I will put the message that they can join using ID and password.
Okay, good. Yes, because very less devotees are there. But he himself came out, Pavan. Okay, Hare Krishna. So I welcome all of you to our Srimad Bhagavatam class. We were discussing how Chitraketu Maharaj, he was going and going on the airplane given by Sankarshan, surrounded with lot of ladies, and he criticized Lord Shiva. Not criticize exactly, but he actually had very good intentions. We heard how Chitraketu Maharaj had such good intentions. He was concerned that already so many people are not so clear, there is no clarity about the behavior of Lord Shiva. Yes? People misunderstand. My voice is not coming.
No, it's coming.
Shall I increase? Hare Krishna. I don't know how. Yes, my voice is coming? Tell yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So, already there are a lot of people who find lot of faults and so many things. They're not able to understand Lord Shiva's character, Lord Shiva's activities. Yes? So, Chitraketu Maharaj was actually concerned. He was concerned that it should not be that people start imitating Lord Shiva and giving a Bhagavatam class, putting their wives on their lap. Looks so odd, yes. So he was really, really concerned. And out of that great concern for everyone, that people don't misunderstand, people don't misrepresent Lord Shiva, people do not create a chaos, he just spoke. And who was Lord Shiva? He is devotee of Sankarshan, and Lord Shiva is devotee of Sankarshan. As a god brother, he just spoke it. But what went wrong was Chitraketu Maharaj didn't follow the Vaishnava etiquette. You see, we may have all good intentions of how to do things in life, but just that good intention is not enough. Like, for example, Sri Nitai Das may have very, very good intentions of eating and feeding the body and nourishing the body. But there are certain protocols of eating. Can Sri Nitai Das, because he is so concerned that his doctor has said that you must eat at least one rasgulla every day so that you get a good amount of protein, you are becoming thinner and thinner, can Sri Nitai Das put rasgulla in his ears? Even if Sri Nitai Das is concerned about feeding the body, taking care of the body, there is a protocol of putting that food inside a particular hole. Then it is going to work. Yes? And at a particular time, can Sri Nitai Das get up at 1 o'clock in the night and say, now it's time to eat the rasgulla, get the rasgulla? So even if a person has all good intentions to nourish the body, it has to be done appropriately. It has to be done in appropriate time. It has to be done through the appropriate process. Then it has the desired effect. Yes? How many of you agree with this? The food that has to be fed, it has to be fed appropriately in the mouth, at appropriate time. There are particular times when we should take, and the appropriate food has to be taken. Sri Nitai Das cannot say that, you see, my car is taking petrol and I should also take petrol. Yes. Just like for a simple activity of eating the food and nourishing the body, we may have very good intentions of nourishing the body. There are certain protocols of what we can eat, how we can eat, and what time we can eat. Exactly in the same way, we may have very good intentions of speaking, dealing with Vaishnavas, but there are certain working protocols. And these working protocols of dealing with devotees are summarized and categorized as Vaishnava etiquette. So Chitraketu Maharaj had extremely good intention, very, very good intentions of following the concern, of understanding the concern that Lord Shiva should behave in a way that it creates auspiciousness. Otherwise, people may misinterpret and misunderstand his behavior. It was perfectly a very genuine, valid concern. But what mistake he did was to break Vaishnava etiquette. And today we are going to see the importance, the how to follow, and what all Vaishnava etiquettes Chitraketu Maharaj broke. We have heard the pastime of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatan Goswami. In our Ekadasi Katha, we have heard the story of Sanatan Goswami, how Sanatan Goswami, he actually came to Jagannath Puri. It was in the month of April, in the Chaitra Mas, that Sanatan Goswami reached Jagannath Puri and stayed about a year with Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it was summer, in the month of June. One day Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was invited for a lunch in Yameshwar Gardens. There are 5 special Lord Shiva's deities in Jagannath Puri. Actually, we have not gone to Jagannath Puri for a long time. We must go it. And maybe next year, 2023, we'll have a special yatra to Jagannath Puri. And we will go to very, very special places. Last time, when 2018 we had gone, we just went to Tota Gopinath and 1-2 places, that's it. But there are very, very special places. Now that all of you are hearing about Lord Chaitanya, I want that we all go to these places. Well, Lord Chaitanya performed almost 24 years of his pastimes in Jagannath Puri. And they are very, very special places. This Yameshwar garden is a very, very special place where Lord Chaitanya performed so many pastimes in this place. It is also known as Yameshwar Tota, where Yama Ishwar, Lord Shiva, is being worshipped since time immemorial. It is said that Yamaraj also came here and worshipped Lord Shiva in this place. So Lord Chaitanya was invited for a picnic outing in this Yameshwar Tota for prasadam, the noon prasadam, the lunch prasadam. And Lord Chaitanya went there and started taking prasadam and said to Govinda, Govinda, invite Sanatan. Why Sanatan has not come for the prasad? And Govinda said, Sanatan is coming. He has been invited, but he's coming. I don't know why he has become late. So you take prasad and you take rest. By the time Sanatan will come, and I will offer him your remnants. So Lord Chaitanya start taking the prasadam. And after prasadam, Lord Chaitanya is about to take rest. And by that time, Sanatan Goswami reaches the place, Yameshwar Tota. And Lord Chaitanya gets up and said, Sanatan, Sanatan, why did you come late? Why did you come late? It's so near to Yameshwar Tota and Siddha Bakul, where Sanatan Goswami used to stay. Siddha Bakul is the place where Sanatan Goswami and Haridas Thakur used to stay. We will go to that place, very, very special place. It's a special tree personally planted by Lord Chaitanya for Haridas Thakur. And just my grandfather's place and Siddha Bakul was very, very near. Like this side of the road is my grandfather's place, and that side of the road, if you just cross near my Mausi's place, is Siddha Bakul. Very nice, special place. But I never went there before coming to Krishna consciousness. That is my great misfortune. That's why Guru is required. You may have the best of the special place just behind your courtyard. But Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shilakaya Chakshurum Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. But you may miss it. Yes, so I was just staying in Puri, in the hub of all these places, but I was not knowing anything. I never went. I just went to Jagannath temple, Gundicha temple, and Narendra Sarovar. That's it. So similarly, how important is to have a guru in our life? We may have the most special places of very, very spiritual importance just behind our courtyard, and we may not know it. We may be living in Dham, but we may not understand the glories of living in Dham. So I was like that. So this Siddha Bakul, from Siddha Bakul to this place, Yameshwar Tota, is very nearby. And Lord Chaitanya was asking again and again to Sanatan, Sanatan, why did you become late? Why did you become late? Which path did you take to come to this place? And Sanatan Goswami said, Ki I took the path through the sandy beaches. Like this is Siddha Bakul, this is Yameshwar garden, so you can reach like this, or you can reach like this through the ocean and reach like this. And Lord Chaitanya was so concerned. Sanatan, the sandy path through the ocean would be so hot. This is the Jyeshtha Mas. How can you come? Your feet would have got blisters. And it was true that Sanatan had got blisters in his feet. But out of his great eagerness to meet Lord Chaitanya, he was not feeling any pain from those blisters. And Lord Chaitanya was crying and asking Sanatan, why did you do that? And Sanatan Goswami said, Ki if I come through the direct path from Siddha Bakul to this place, Yameshwar, I have to go through the Singhadwar. And near the Singhadwar, there are a lot of pujaris. They are going here and there for doing the service to Lord Jagannath. And I am fearful that I should not commit a Vaishnava parad of touching them and contaminating them, and so that they again have to go and take bath. I am a sinful person. My body is oozing with so much of nonsense substances. It was that time when Sanatan had come through a forest and he had taken some bad water, contaminated water, and his body was oozing with so much of pores, and all those pus was coming out. So I am concerned that pujaris, if they even see me, glance at me, they may get contaminated. My body is so contaminated. That's why I took that path. Lord Chaitanya became so overwhelmed with emotions that he got up. He was actually resting after prasadam. He got up and wanting to embrace Sanatan. He ran, and Sanatan Goswami ran away because his body was oozing with so much of pus. And Lord Chaitanya, who can escape Lord Chaitanya? If Krishna wants to catch you, you cannot escape him. Like I have seen some devotees, they come to Krishna consciousness, they want to leave Krishna consciousness because it becomes sometimes too much for them. Lord Chaitanya, Lord Krishna, it's like it doesn't let. Some devotees have left Krishna consciousness and thought that I will go to overseas and I will work in a company in America. And so that there will be no devotees around. And in America, in the company, while taking lunch, one devotee comes and offers them Mahaprasadam. Would you like to take this prasadam? And this devotee said, no, why this devotee? So then again starts practicing Krishna consciousness. Actually, to escape Krishna's network is very, very difficult. This is not www, World Wide Web. This is intercreation web, intercosmos web. Even if you travel to the other universe, Krishna will catch you. Forget about going to some other planets or other countries. So Lord Chaitanya caught Sanatan and embraced him. And Lord Chaitanya spoke this beautiful verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita. I don't know whether I'll be able to share it. Host, disabled, participant, screen sharing, it is telling. I don't know what to do.
Be able to share.
Huh?
Now you'll be able to share.
Okay, thank you. We see how much power Pavan Prabhu has. And holding the power to do anything and everything. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. All of you please recite. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Shri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Shri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Yadyapiyo tumi ho Jagata Pavan.
Yadyapiyo tumi ho Jagat Pavan.
Toma sparshe pavitra hai Deva Muni Gan.
Toma sparshe pavitra hoy Deva Muni Gan.
Tathapi Bhakta Swabhav Maryada Rakshan.
Tatapi Bhakta Sobhav Maryada Rakshan.
Maryada Palana hai Sadhura Bhushan.
Maryada Palan hoy Sadhura Bhushan.
So Lord Chaitanya is out of his great ecstasy of appreciating Sanatan Goswami. Lord Chaitanya is speaking this verse. My dear Sanatan, although you are the deliverer of the entire universe, and although even the demigods and great saints are purified by touching you, it is the characteristic of a devotee to observe and protect the Vaishnava etiquette. Maintenance of the Vaishnava etiquette is the ornament of a devotee. Lord Chaitanya is speaking here. Maryada palon hoy sadhura bhushan. The next verse. Maryada langhane loka kare upahas. Anyone else?
Yada langhane loka kare upahas.
Ihaloka paralok dui hoy nas.
Ihaloka paraluka dui hai nash.
If one transgresses the laws of Vaishnava etiquette, people make fun of him, and thus he is vanquished in both this world and the next world. And then Lord Chaitanya is going to say the last verse. Maryada rakhile tusta koila mor man.
Maryada rakhile tushta kaila mor man.
Tumi aiche na karile kare ko no jan.
Tumi aiche
न करिले करे कौन जन.
By observing the etiquette, you have satisfied my mind. Who else you could show this example? So Lord Chaitanya again embraced Sanatan Goswami, who was feeling very, very embarrassed because his body was oozing with pus. But Lord Chaitanya here is giving hints of how to please him. It's not just important that we practice Krishna consciousness. It's also important that how we practice Krishna consciousness by following the Vaishnava etiquettes to please Lord Chaitanya. It's not important that we serve devotees to please Lord Chaitanya. It's also important that how we serve the devotees by following the Vaishnava etiquette in order to please Lord Chaitanya. Tushta hoilaman. Lord Chaitanya is telling, you pleased me because of following this Vaishnava etiquette. Sanatan Goswami is a liberated personality. He has everything of his body is supremely pure like Aguru Chandan. The pus coming out from Sanatan's body is like the Aguru that can deliver and purify the entire three worlds. That's what Lord Chaitanya is telling. That your body has the capacity to purify the demigods and great purified saints. But yet, you are setting the right example of following the Vaishnava etiquette. And by following it, you have pleased my heart. So this is the importance of following the Vaishnava etiquette, which Chitraketu Maharaj transgressed. And we will see later in our today's class that what all Vaishnava etiquettes Chitraketu Maharaj transgressed. But as of now, we will see how we are seeing how important it is to follow these Vaishnava etiquettes. Vaishnava etiquette is like an ornament. Lord Chaitanya is telling, Sadhur Maryada Rakshan hoy Sadhur Bhushan. Following the Vaishnava etiquette is like Sadhur Bhushan. It's like the ornament. If all of you know a little bit of Bengali, how many Bengalis in today's class? Very less. Arijit Prabhu and that's it, Sanjukta Mataji. We have very less Bengalis. Oh yes, Ansuman Prabhu and Niharika Mataji, 4 Bengalis. Sadhura Bhushan. Maryada is etiquette. So, just like we have heard in previous classes that the only wealth that a devotee has is the service, is love for Krishna. Yes, we just recently gave a class in the temple where we were discussing how this opportunity to serve and this love for Krishna is the only wealth that a devotee has in his life. Now, when a wealthy person comes out and when a pauper comes out, a pauper means a bankrupt person comes out, there is a difference. Yes? When a wealthy lady, a wealthy daughter of a very, very wealthy man gets married and daughter of a poor beggar gets married. There is a difference in the bride, both the bride's looks. Yes? The daughter of a wealthy man is beautifully decorated with lot of ornaments and all. And the daughter of a beggar is also decorated with ornaments, but those imitation ornaments, 500 rupees worth. Yes. So exactly in the same way, if one is wealthy with Krishna Prem, with love for Krishna, his body, his attitude, uh, his disposition has to be decorated. It should look different, right? It's not necessary. If you may have a lot of wealth, but how people know your wealth? When you go out, you look different. A poor person may go out in Alto 800 and a wealthy person comes in Mercedes. We recently invited some wealthy persons to our installation ceremony and there were lines and lines of Mercedes in front of our Gosala. So, and everyone had come in a special Mercedes. Someone is a blue Mercedes, someone is a white Mercedes, someone is a big Mercedes, someone is a small Mercedes, and depending on how they come, their status, someone is an Audi, someone a Jaguar, like that. So similarly, when we become devotee, we also want, Lord Chaitanya has instructed us, a devotee must also decorate his body so that he looks beautiful. Just like a bride, if the bride just comes out like that, we had recently a meeting for marriage and all, and we were, there was discussion of how the bride should look and the bridegroom should look, and it should look very, very nice. Beautiful, right? So just like the bride, in order to look beautiful, has to wear a lot of ornaments and gorgeous dress and all, exactly in the same way Lord Chaitanya has instructed us that a devotee looks beautiful by wearing the ornaments of Vaishnava etiquette. When a devotee follows this Vaishnava etiquette, he or she actually looks very, very beautiful. And that's how important is this following of Vaishnava etiquette. And the second reason, the first reason it makes the devotee look beautiful in front of Vaishnavas and Lord. The second reason is it protects us from Vaishnava Parad, from the danger of Vaishnava Parad. Lord Chaitanya in his instructions to Srila Rupa Goswami compares the development of bhakti with a development of lata, bhakti lata. And Lord Chaitanya says that how? Just like if there is a wonderful flower garden, but a mad elephant comes to the flower garden. You have not seen mad elephants. I have seen in Bhubaneswar, near Bhubaneswar, there is a elephant sanctuary. How many of you have been there? It's called Chandaka Forest. Beautiful acres and acres of elephant sanctuary, and sometimes these elephants are mad. There are trenches, there are deep trenches to protect these people who are residing near the sanctuary and not let the elephants come in. But sometimes these elephants come because these trenches get filled with mud and dirt. And morning you get up. Actually, one of my uncle was staying near these places, Bharatpur or some Chandaka near that. He was telling that he called and he said, morning today when I got up in the window, the elephant stout was there, like, and it was sniffing my window. Just imagine you get up in the morning and the elephant is sniffing. And these elephants are very, very, and sometimes they have big tusks and they're very fearful. They can, in just one stamp, They can completely crush your brand new I-20 car. Finished. That's it. One elephant, one stamp is sufficient for your entire brand new I-20 car to get just like go again back to the service center. That's the power of these elephants. And when the elephant becomes mad, my goodness, 10 I-20s will get smashed in one time. They're just mad. They just go here and there, and whatever comes in front of their eyes, they just crush them. And Lord Chaitanya compares this Vaishnava aparadh as mad elephant. It just crushes the entire bhakti lata. You may have been practicing for 30 years, 40 years of devotional service and have collected gems of wisdom of devotional service. One Vaishnava aparadh finished your entire flower garden of bhakti for years and years which you have cultivated. It's gone. The fruits are gone. The flowers are gone. So following the Vaishnava etiquette actually protects us from this dangerous Vaishnava aparadh, which is like a mad elephant. And thirdly, our acharyas say that Vaishnava etiquette helps us to make us remember how we are servant of Krishna and Vaishnavas. These Vaishnava etiquettes are designed to remind us about our eternal position. Following them help us to always remain in a spiritual platform of Das, which is our eternal identity. Jiver Swarup Hoy Krishna Nityadas. Lord Chaitanya instructed Sanatan Goswami then, "Oh Sanatan, I want you to categorically document all the important Vaishnav etiquettes, sadhur vyavahar, in a book." And Sanatan Goswami said, "I don't know what is the behavior of a devotee. If you give me in a synopsis what I need to write, I would definitely fulfill your instruction." And Lord Chaitanya gives in synopsis directions of how to write the book. And Sanatan Goswami writes a very, very special book called Hari Bhakti Vilas, which is a guideline for all the Vaishnavas about the Vaishnava etiquette. So it's important that we follow these etiquettes because of these primarily three reasons. It's an ornament which makes us beautiful in front of Lord and Vaishnavas. It protects us from Vaishnava aparadh. And thirdly, it helps us to it makes us remember always to stay in the spiritual platform of Das, Das, Dasanu, Das. Then why people break Vaishnava etiquette? Like Chitraketu. Yes? If it is so important, why do we break? The first reason may be complete ignorance. Like we just don't know what is the etiquette. We just break it because we don't know it. And breaking Vaishnava etiquette out of ignorance is not that serious, but when we are told that you broke it, we must become serious and never break it again. So it's not that serious because we don't know it. And that's why, so that you all know these Vaishnava etiquettes from this next week onwards, in our group discussions, we will have a series of assignments on Vaishnava etiquette. Actually, His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj was an authority of following the Vaishnava etiquette in our International Society for Krishna Consciousness. There is hardly anyone who can be comparable to the way, to the standards His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj established in following the Vaishnava etiquettes in ISKCON. Being suggested and advised by many of his god brothers, like His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. Before he left this planet, he actually gave series of seminars on Vaishnava heritage, culture and etiquette. And these seminars form the basis of following of the Vaishnava etiquette, because Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj comes from a elite Vaishnava family in Calcutta, and he knows the intricate Bengali Gaudiya tradition of following the Vaishnava etiquettes. And with suggestions from all his god brothers, he compiled. And now that he has left the planet, many of his disciples have recompiled all his compilations and lectures into a very wonderful website, which I was instructed by my Siksha Guru Radhesham Prabhu to read it nicely. And following his instructions, I am giving you advice. I can instruct, I am just giving you suggestions that we will read them. They're very simple. They have documented it very nicely, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. It's just one line. And we will do this in our group discussions so that we learn these important Vaishnava etiquettes of dealing with Vaishnavas, dealing with public, dressing ourselves, speaking, how to speak, how to dress. These things are mentioned. Very nicely documented by the disciples of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj from the seminars and lectures that His Holiness gave in different various temples all over the world. So we will do those assignments in the next week onwards. So coming back, so it may be basically from ignorance, we don't know it. But that's not a very serious mistake, because it's just an ignorance. But sometimes we may know it, but out of laziness, not follow it. Like one time, it's actually an etiquette that whenever you see your guru, you must pay obeisances. And one time, one disciple told to Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, whenever I see you, I don't feel like paying obeisances. Srila Prabhupada said, you pay obeisances, and after 1 or 2 years of paying obeisances, you will feel like it. And even if you don't feel like it entire life, you continue paying obeisances. Otherwise, you will commit Vaishnava aparadh. Hare Krishna. So sometimes it can be simply out of laziness, out of carelessness to not follow the Vaishnava etiquette. So that can be a second reason of not following it, because of laziness. Okay, I am meeting my guru, but I meet him so many times. I'm just, he's just there. He's coming to my home and he's staying in my home. What's the point in paying obeisances? And anyway, his age is less than me, and we make all these, oh, my back is paining, and it's all these things. But it's an etiquette, and sometimes out of laziness and callousness we may not follow it. The third reason, which can be more serious, is arrogance and pride, which our acharyas have said that Chitraketu Maharaj had an iota of pride in his heart because of meeting Lord Sankarshan, which directed him to break the Vaishnava etiquette. So the third reason can be arrogance and pride, that I am so great, why I need to follow the Vaishnava etiquette. But through the example of Sanatana Goswami, Lord Chaitanya is telling, even if one person has the power to deliver the demigods and purify the demigods, he must follow the Vaishnava etiquette. So sometimes out of pride and arrogance that I am so great, one breaks the Vaishnava etiquette. This third reason can be very serious. And the fourth reason is inability to follow the Vaishnava etiquette because of the conditionings of living in a different lifestyle before coming to Krishna consciousness. Like sometimes before coming to Krishna consciousness, we live in a lifestyle which is where the words are very in a different way. Like, how, like in friend circle, in outside friend circle, how do you do? We pat and they say, "Arey, tum kaisa hai?" We use some language. And sometimes coming to devotees, we also use certain languages which are not appropriate, which can create Vaishnava Parad. But because of our conditionings of living in a lifestyle of like certain sections of India, the speech is very rough and harsh. Even if they appreciate you, it would seem that they are, I think, chastising you. The speech is so rough and harsh. So sometimes because of coming from those lifestyle and background, conditionings may force us not to follow the Vaishnava etiquette. That may be the fourth reason of not following the Vaishnava etiquette. But still, those conditionings can be purified provided we practice these Vaishnava etiquettes in our life. And sometimes we may fail, then we must beg forgiveness that because of my lifestyle previously I did this, sorry, I break it, but I will be careful in next time. So these are the four reasons why we break Vaishnava etiquette. The first one being out of ignorance, which is not that serious, we can learn it always. The second one is little more serious because it is based on our attitude of laziness. We know it, but we don't follow it. The third one, it's more serious because it is out of arrogance. And the fourth one is not that serious but needs practice. Is out of our conditionings. In our assignments, we will elaborately discuss about these four causes and we'll give you some assignments on this. So now, after getting little bit of, this was just an introduction of today's class. Sorry, it went 1 hour. So now we will start today's class from Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. Sorry, please forgive me, but today we will now just now we will start the first verse. These verses are spoken by Mother Parvati to Chitraketu, explaining in detail which all Vaishnava etiquette he broke. So this is just an introduction. Now we will start the actual class, but we will end in time. So don't misunderstand me. So don't feel afraid. Oh, class just started, but we will end in time. Hare Krishna. So this is the verse. This is Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, 17th chapter, 11th number verse. Parvati Devi being very angry, speaking these verses. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Hare Krishna. Shri Parvatyuvacha.
Shri Parvatyuvacha.
Ayam kim adhuna loke.
Ayam kim adhuna loke.
Sasta dandadhara prabhu.
Shasta dandadhara prabhu.
Asmat vidhanam dushtanam.
Asmat vidhanam dushtanam.
Nirlajanam cha viprakrut.
Nirlajjanam cha viprakrit.
Yes, anyone else? Shri Parvatyuvacha. Ayam kim adhuna loke. We have four verses, so we have enough opportunities. So one devotee at a time. Ayam kim adhuna loke. Hare Hare Krishna, anyone? Both were speaking and both stopped. Which Vaishnava etiquette you are following? Ayam kim adhuna loke.
Ayam kim adhuna loke.
Sasta dandadhara prabhu.
Shasta dandadhara prabhu.
Asmad vidhanam dushtanam.
Asmat vidhanam dushtanam.
Nirlajanam cha viprakrut.
Nirlajanam cha viprakrit.
Sri translation, purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Parvati Vacha, the goddess Parvati said, I am this, kim, whether, adhuna, now, loke, in the world, sasta, the supreme controller, dandadhara, the carrier of the rod of punishment, prabhu, the master, asmat vidhanam, of persons like us, dustanam, criminals, nirlajanam, who have no shame, cha, biprakrit, the restrainer. The goddess Parvati said, alas, has this upstart now received a post from which to punish shameless persons like us? Has he been appointed ruler, carrier of the rod of punishment? Is he now the only master of everything? So this is what Parvati said. And this is what the first Vaishnava etiquette Chitraketu Maharaj broke. The Vaishnava etiquette of becoming breaking the Vaishnava etiquette of becoming the self-appointed guru of everyone. You know, we have a tendency to always become the self-appointed advisor. This tendency is actually coming from an arrogant attitude within. Actually, this relationship of guru and disciple is completely mutual, and rather it completely depends on the disciple, not on the guru. A guru never thinks that he is guru and fit to give instruction. If anyone who thinks that he is a guru, he is not a guru, he is a guru, he is a cow, gokhara. It's actually the disciple who makes the guru think that he is guru and please instruct me. Then the guru instructs. Otherwise, the guru is simply a servant. We all should always understand that we are no one's guru. Bande Krishna Jagat Guru. Krishna is the only guru. None of us have guru. But because someone have humbly requested us to render this service of becoming their guru and advisor, that's why, that's the only sole reason. So long they have requested us to do this service, we must do this service. And when they say that, Prabhu, I feel now you don't become my guru, we must bless them. Okay, TK, I bless you. Now I will not act as your guru. The guru-disciple relationship is not based on the guru, someone wanting to become guru. Someone should not become a guru because he loves to become a guru. It's very, very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Guru is a service offered by the disciple to a person. And this service has to be done extremely with great caution, in such sensitive ways that the disciple never feels offended by the guru. The guru should ensure sensitivity in offering advice and instructions to even his own disciple. And that will happen only when the guru understands that he is not a guru. He is simply a servant of everyone. Just because this person has asked me to give him some advice, that's the only reason. I don't think I am guru. I don't think I am not even a guru. I am simply an ignorant fool. But because this person is humbly submitting himself and requesting me, the Paramatma in the heart of the person is empowering me, who is also there in my heart, to instruct him accordingly. The Guru should understand that because this person is surrendering to me with humility, that surrender, that humble surrender, is the cause of inspiring the Paramatma within my heart to give him the right appropriate instruction. It's not my greatness that I am giving the appropriate instructions. According to astrology, it's not Ketu in the ninth house that enables the Guru to give the right instruction. Recently, I heard from Kushal Bihari Prabhu, if someone has Ketu in his ninth house, his instructions become invaluable wisdom. This is something, but this is not the reality. The reality is not Ketu in the ninth house of a Guru. The reality is Paramatma. When anyone surrenders to another person with humility, with great eagerness, the Paramatma in the heart of the person who is surrendering inspires the Paramatma in the heart of a Guru. Though they are same person, but it's just for practical understanding. We are keeping the Paramatma different to actually give him the appropriate instructions. The disciples should worship and glorify the spiritual master. The disciples do not think, oh, it's just the Paramatma. My Guru is just the Paramatma. That is an offense on the part of disciple. If the disciple says that is just a Paramatma, my Guru is just an instrument of the Paramatma, that's not appropriate. But the Guru should understand that it's the humble surrender of the disciple which empowered him to speak. It's not me, it's not my greatness. So the relationship between Guru and disciple is initiated from the disciple, not the Guru. And the Vaishnava etiquette that Chitraketu Maharaj broke is that Lord Shiva never asked Chitraketu, "Oh Chitraketu, please tell me that making Parvati sit on my lap, is it a good etiquette, not a good etiquette?" Never Lord Shiva said. It's Chitraketu who became a self-appointed guru and made Lord Shiva as his disciple, which is completely wrong. We have no business to instruct and advise anyone. Anyone. This is simply arrogance and pride. Even parents have to be careful in instructing and advising their kids. It's not that we just became parents, that's why we can do anything and everything with our kids. It's completely wrong understanding of parenting. We must behave in such a way that our kids love to hear advice from us. If the parents, definitely kids in the beginning are mischievous, they have to be disciplined. But sometimes when the kids become teenagers, the parents find great difficulty in advising them. And the reason is breaking this etiquette. The parents become overly guru conscious. They should inspire and live a lifestyle in such a way that the kid who has gone into the teenager phase feels inspired to take advice. Not feeling that aage Papa ji abhi chaatne ke liye. Like, people say that abhi, now he has come really to make me bore. Sometimes kids, they have revealed to me, they're teenagers, and they have said how they're frustrated with their mother and father and how they have become a tail. If we become tail of our disciples and children, they will become animals, because animals have tail, human beings don't have tail. Yes, you have seen. Sometimes parents become the tail of their children. Sometimes guru becomes the tail of the disciple. Send me all the reports, when you slept, when you got up, when you this, when you that. Under specific circumstances, we may be advised to do that, but it's not a generic rule that when you are going to number 1, when you are going to number 2, when you took bath, when you completed your 16 rounds, these are extremely micromanagement. The guru should inspire the disciple to manage his own life and not become the tail of the disciple, not become the tail of the children. Otherwise, the disciple, the children will simply become an animal. They should be trained to stand on their own legs, understanding what is good, what is bad. They should be trained to become their own guru and advisor. This is the role of a guru. The guru never thinks that I will remain guru of this person throughout the life. Then he is not a guru. The guru thinks that I will train him for such a period of time so that he becomes guru of his own life, and not just of his own life or her life, he or she becomes guru of the entire world. Similarly, the parents should understand that I should not remain. I have seen a 60-year-old father treating the son who has become the father of so many sons in the same way he used to treat when he used to change his diapers. And that creates so much of family problems. I have seen my father when I became 15 and joined the college. I became the topper in the state in ICSE board in the 10th class. family members were very happy, and my father took me for a walk just the day before joining the college. We went far off from our place. My father put the bike, we had a scooter in one place, and then we walked. And I was very afraid. I thought I made some mistake or I scored less marks. My father is going to correct me, or what is happening? I was feeling afraid. While taking on a walk, my father said, now you have attained 15 years of age and you are entering 16. My duty is over. My duty to advise you and instruct you is over. Now that you will enter the college, your knowledge will increase. I am not going to treat you as my son. Rather, I am telling you now that there are two paths in life. In college, generally there is chances of getting distracted. There are two paths. One is you distract now for 2 years and then you will have to work hard for the remaining of life. And another is you work hard now and you have a very wonderful life. But this is the last time I am going to say you this statement. Henceforward, I believe and have faith and trust that you will follow the path of right wisdom, of being whatever was taught to you from childhood. I have never been such a meritorious student like you. I was never the topper in the class or in the state. But I am concerned that you maintain it. But since you are becoming 15 and 16, I am not going to advise you henceforward. I trust you that you follow this in your life. I don't require anything from your success. Whatever success you have, it is your property. Never ever think that if you become successful, I will reap some benefits out of it. I wish you all success in life. And I tell you with full honesty that my father never advised me henceforward. He used to express his disagreements. When I became a devotee and when I became like this, he always expressed his disagreements that he didn't like it. But he never said that if you have to do it. He never said like that. He always helped me to monitor myself. That's the duty of a guru, duty of a parent. The parent should think that I have to leave this job of becoming his parent at one point of time. Then he is the right parent. Finished. Now I am not his guru. Now I am not his parent. I am simply his well-wisher. So the disciple-guru relationship is initiated by the disciple and it is terminated by the guru. The guru should know when to terminate that relationship. The relationship is eternal. But the guru should not think that, oh, whole life I will treat him like my small kid and keep him instructing him, you must do this, you must do that. Slowly and slowly, the guru should help him take the right decisions in his own life. Similarly, a parent. So the mistake that Chitraketu Maharaj did, that Parvati Devi is speaking here, that Chitraketu Maharaj became a self-appointed guru. Until and unless a person appoints you as his guru, you should never instruct him, advise him. So this is the first etiquette. And we see in Lord Chaitanya's pastime, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he became a self-appointed guru of Lord Chaitanya. Gopinath Acharya, was so concerned. He practically he made a debate, he argued with Lord Chaitanya. He argued with, just 1 minute, I will charge my laptop. He practically argued with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, telling, do you know who is this person? He is the Supreme Lord himself, and you are telling that you should instruct him in Vedanta? He is the source of Vedas, he is source of Vedanta, he is source of even many things which you don't know. And you will instruct him? You'll become his guru? And Lord Chaitanya, out of his humility, he said, he's just my father, he's just my father, let him. But Gopinath Acharya and all other devotees who had assembled did not agree to the proposal of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya advising Lord Chaitanya about Vedanta. But because Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was elderly, and because he did it with Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya is merciful incarnation, actually it created the most auspicious deliverance of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. But Lord Chaitanya took the case of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, crushing the pride of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, telling, Lord Chaitanya was just sitting like an ignorant fool, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was thinking, 7 days I have been telling you about Vedanta, are you able to understand? And Lord Chaitanya said, I am able to understand Vedanta, but I am not able to understand your explanations of Vedanta. Vedanta is like sun. Krishna Surya Sama. Vedanta is not different than Krishna. It's like sun. But your explanations are like clouds covering the sun. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was crushed. His arrogance was crushed that he knew Vedanta. And Lord Chaitanya explained Vedanta. Just one verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was completely surrendered at the feet of Lord Chaitanya. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya actually became a self-appointed advisor of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which Lord Chaitanya didn't mind, but all other devotees did forbid Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya because they were fearful that it may commit a aparadh. But because of the humility and Lord Chaitanya's mercy, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya being an elderly person, it was not such a serious issue. But the pastime goes to give an understanding that we should not become a self-appointed advisor of anyone. And then Parvati Devi speaks the next verse of what next Vaishnava etiquette he broke. Na veda dharmam kila padma yoni.
Na veda dharmam kila padma yoni.
Na brahma putra bhruganāradādya.
Na brahma putra bhruganāradādya.
Na vai kumara kapila manuscha. Yeno nisedhanti ativartinam haram.
Yeno nisedhanti ativartinam haram.
Yes. Alas, Lord Brahma, who has taken his birth from the lotus flower, does not know the principles of religion. Nor do the great saints like Bhrigu and Narada, nor the 4 Kumaras headed by Sanat Kumara, Manu and Kapila have also forgotten the religious principle. I suppose it to be because of this that they have not tried to stop Lord Shiva from behaving improperly. Hare Krishna. So the second Vaishnava etiquette is to instruct someone in front of superior personalities. If some superior is there, your superior is there, even if you have your own disciple in front of you, it's an etiquette that we don't instruct our disciple in front of our own superiors. To the extent that imagine someone asks you a question and you have your own superior in the vicinity. So it is an transgress of etiquette to answer the question. Rather, we should direct that disciple to your own superior to get the answer. Like for example, the Sri Nitai Das is asked a question. Someone asked a question to Sri Nitai Das, and Radheshyam Prabhu or His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, or Gurus of Sri Nitai Das, they are nearby. So it's an etiquette that Sri Nitai Das takes him to his Guru to help him clarify the question. We should not instruct our disciples, even if they are our disciples, in front of our own superiors. So when Lord Shiva was giving class, Narad Muni was present. Who was Guru of Chitraketu? Who gave the mantra? Just imagine. Narad Muni is Guru of Chitraketu. He made him Chitraketu, what he is now, correct? We have just heard the story. He was personally hearing the class from Lord Shiva. Bhrigu was there. Vyasa was there. All these great personalities who are much. Vyasa is Guru of Narada. Bhrigu is son of Brahma. All these superior personalities are there, and in front of them, though Lord Shiva never accepted him, Chitraketu, as his Guru, but for hypothetical sense, even if Lord Shiva is the disciple of Chitraketu, it is still a transgress of etiquette that he spoke in front of Narad Muni. He gave instructions to Lord Shiva in front of Narad Muni, who is his own spiritual master. We see in Srimad Bhagavatam the story and the pastime of Vidura, Maitreya and Uddhava in the third canto. Vidura meets Uddhava, and Uddhava is so overwhelmed with emotions because Krishna has left the world. And Vidura is asking a lot of questions to Uddhava, but Uddhava says, just nearby in this place, Maitreya Muni is there, who is superior to me. Please go and ask these questions to Maitreya. Because he is here, it is nice that you hear from him. And I go to Bhatrika Ashram. So, Uddhava, though he was actually spiritually more, he was a liberated personality, he was direct associate of the Lord, but still he followed the etiquette because Maitreya is age-wise superior and senior to Uddhava. He actually directed Vidura to Maitreya, and that's how the third canto is Vidura Maitreya Uvach. It starts with Vidura Uddhava Uvach, but then Uddhava directs Vidura to Maitreya Muni because Maitreya was superior in age. So that's the second etiquette Chitraketu Maharaj broke. That we must not instruct even our own disciples in front of our own superiors. And then Parvati Devi says about the third etiquette. Hare Krishna. Esham anudhyeya padabja yugmam Jagad Guru Mangala Mangalam Swayam Yakshatra Bandhu Paribhuya Surim Prasasti Drishtas Tadayam Hidandyaha. Yes, Yes, anyone else would like to recite? Esham anudhyeya padabja yugmam
ईशामनुध्येयपदाब्जयुग्मम्
Jagat Guru Mangala Mangalam Swayam
जगद्गुरुं मङ्गलमङ्गलं स्वयं
Yakshatra Bandhu Paribhuya Suri
यक्षत्रबन्धु परिभूय सूरि
Prasasti Drishtas Tadayam Hidandya.
प्रशास्ति दृष्टस्तदयं विदन्त्य.
Yes, the translation. This Chitraketu is the lowest of all Kshatriyas, for he has impudently overridden Brahma and other demigods by insulting Lord Shiva, upon whose lotus feet they always meditate. Lord Shiva is personified religion and the spiritual master of the entire world, and therefore Chitraketu must be punished. Hare Krishna. So this is the third Vaishnava etiquette that was broken by Chitraketu Maharaj to instruct his own superior, his own guru. Parvati Devi is telling that even if Lord Shiva, let's hypothetically, Lord Shiva has committed a mistake, but his superior, his guru, it is not an etiquette to instruct your guru. If your guru is doing some mistake and you find it, you must approach his guru humbly, that I found this and please help me clarify, is it proper or not proper? But we must never instruct our own guru. We see in the pastime of Ramchandra Puri, which we have seen already in our classes, that Ramchandra Puri was criticizing the most horrible thing that Lord Chaitanya felt disgusted in his life was criticizing Vaishnavas. And Ramchandra Puri was outrightly criticizing all the Vaishnavas. This is something that Lord Chaitanya felt greatly disgusted. But Lord Chaitanya was so respectful to Ramchandra Puri because he is god brother of Ishwara Puri and he is his guru, in the level of his guru. He never instructed Ramchandra Puri. He never said to Ramchandra Puri that this is wrong, you are instructing, you are criticizing all Vaishnavas, this is completely wrong. He never did that. Rather, when Ramchandra Puri criticized him, Lord Chaitanya said, he is just like my guru, he is simply giving me good advice. So it's the third etiquette that he broke, that he, Shiva, Lord Shiva, Parvati Devi is telling, Jagat Guru, Mangala Mangalam Swayam. He is the spiritual master of entire universe and he makes auspiciousness auspicious. That's why he is Shiva, the all auspicious. And he instructed his own spiritual master at the level of, not just his spiritual master, Lord Shiva is spiritual master of Brahma and Narada. Spiritual master of his spiritual master. He instructed him. This is such a transgress of etiquette. And the fourth one that Parvati Devi is speaking is this. Nayam arhati vaikuntha. Yes, anyone? Hare Krishna. Why?
Nayam arhati vaikuntha
Pada mulopasarpanam
padamulopasarpanam
Sambhavita mati stabdaha
Sambhavitamati stabdaha
Sadhubhi pariupashitam.
Sadhubhi parupashitam.
This person is puffed up because of his achievements, thinking, I am best. He does not deserve to approach the shelter of Lord Vishnu's lotus feet, which are worshipped by all saintly persons, for he is impudent, thinking himself greatly important. So this is also an etiquette, that we don't showcase our great qualities to others, that how I am great. I am so great. I know everything. Nothing is unknown to me. Like, this is the general tendency when we are living in outside world. In outside world, if you tell that you are ignorant of something, people start making fun. But in Vaishnava society, if you say that, sorry, I didn't know, please let me know, if you become humble, then you are glorified. So Chitraketu actually became puffed up and thought that he knows the religion very nicely and Lord Shiva doesn't know. And then Parvati Devi, he curses Chitraketu Maharaj. What curse Parvati Devi gives, how she gives. Because you see, Parvati is a Vaishnava, Chitraketu is also a Vaishnava. And Parvati Devi is speaking about Vaishnava etiquette, and it is also an etiquette not to curse a Vaishnava. Yes? It's an etiquette to not curse a Vaishnava. Now Parvati Devi herself is speaking about all these Vaishnava etiquettes, how she is going to manage to curse Chitraketu, because Chitraketu is also a glorious Vaishnava. And later on Lord Shiva says ahead to Parvati Devi that Chitraketu had the power to nullify your curse and recurse you. That was the power of Chitraketu. Don't underestimate the power of Chitraketu. Don't think that Chitraketu just a simple guy coming and in front of Lord Shiva and Parvati. Chitraketu had the power to nullify the curse of Parvati. This is written in Srimad Bhagavatam. We will see in the next class. Chitraketu had the power to nullify the curse of Mother Parvati and recurse her. How Chitraketu behaved after hearing the curse, and how Parvati Devi cursed Chitraketu without breaking the Vaishnava etiquette of cursing a Vaishnava, and how Lord Shiva responded when your wife is scolding someone and how you should respond, how Lord Shiva managed the entire scene. We will see next class. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Jai Chitraketu Maharaj ki. We understand that Chitraketu Maharaj is a glorious personality, and we put our Dandavat obeisances at his lotus feet. Just for the matter of lessons, we are trying to take out all these things. We beg forgiveness for our impudence and arrogance to do this analysis of the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. Chitraketu Maharaj ki, Parvati Devi ki, Lord Shiva ki, Samavet Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, Sukadev Goswami ki, Jai Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much. We have some 5 minutes because we started 10 minutes late today. So if anyone has one question, we can take out one or two. Yes, Piyush Prabhu has a question.
Hare
And
Krishna Prabhu.
Ritu Mataji has the next question.
Prabhuji, regarding the initial talk, you talked about Vaishnava etiquette. I was having a practical question. Like yesterday, it happened that in a devotee restaurant here, I met a very senior devotee after a long time, 4 years. And he was in the Vaishnava, but I was in the normal attire. And he paid obeisances on the floor, Panchang Pranam. And it was like, situationally, I didn't feel proper place. And moreover, I got an excuse that I recently heard Maharaj's disciple quoting that Maharaj forbid him from paying obeisances on the airport in US and nowadays even in India. So because public opinion and the place also matters. So like in such circumstances, there is a danger that we may not offer or we offer in the mind, but the devotee may take it as an offense that etiquette is not being followed. So, what can be done in such a
So the
situation?
etiquette mentioned by Rupa Goswami about offering respect is very, very clear. If someone is not initiated into the Guru Parampara, then he has to be offered respects within our mind. But if someone is initiated, we must offer obeisances, panchang, and all these things about place, circumstances are important. But imagine the other person is offering obeisances, it is important that we offer back regardless of the circumstance. If both of them are understanding the circumstances, is fine. But if someone has not understood and paying obeisances, it is important that we also pay obeisances, understand, giving him that respect. Otherwise it is a matter of pride that he didn't understand and I have understood, that's why I should not pay obeisances. That's not proper. So if someone pays obeisances without understanding that it is an airport, how people will think and all those things, we must also offer back obeisances. But in all generic situations we must offer obeisances. Actually, we do not have to worry about what anyone is speaking and saying. Rather, people feel greatly pleased seeing what a respect these people have for each other. Generally, in this world, there is no instance of people respecting each other nowadays. But when people see such respect among Vaishnavas and such Vaishnava dealings, they get inspired. So that's if someone else is doing, we must do it. Okay, Hare Krishna. Yes, Ritu Mataji. Yes, your voice is very less. Yes.
तो मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि जनरली हम लोग वैष्णव एटिकेट फॉलो करते हैं, लेकिन सम टाइम्स जैसे कि अभी आपने बताया कि माता जी उनको कर्ज कर दिए थे, तो सम टाइम्स इन प्राइड और जेलसी इन मोमेंटम, मतलब कि कुछ ही समय के लिए हम लोग उसको भूल जाते हैं कि मतलब अंदर से हम उस पर्सन के जैसे मेरे सामने कोई पर्सन है वैष्णव है, मैं बाहर से उनको दंडवत कर रही हूँ, लेकिन अंदर से मैं उनके प्रति बहुत ज़्यादा जेलस हूँ, तो उनको बहुत चिढ़ हो रहा है, लेकिन जस्ट मैं बाहर से उसको दंडवत कर रही हूँ, तो क्या ये भी एक मतलब अपराध होता है? अगर है तो फिर हम इसको कैसे डील करें?
So if we are not feeling within, we are feeling within something, not paying obeisance, and we are thinking whether we should pay or not, we should anyway pay obeisances. So at least Krishna consciousness should begin with externals. Internals are important, definitely, that we are internally not also wanting to pay obeisances and have that respect. But in the beginning, externals are very, very important. And we should reveal our heart to some of our superior that I feel envious and jealous about this Vaishnava. Please tell me some glories of this devotee, so that the envy that is there in my heart gets sublimated by hearing the appreciation about this Vaishnava. So, but whether our envy has gone or not gone, we must still externally pay the respect. That's important. Yes, Hare Krishna. Yes, Udit Prabhu, then Kushal Bihari Prabhu, then Arijit Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Prabhu, I have two questions. Firstly, you talked about that disciple and Guru relationship. That disciple should come to Guru and ask humbly about the problem. But we see when we go for preaching, people are not that much, ready to open up with us. So how we can, at what time, at what maturity level we should uh, now give them the freedom to approach us or approach anyone superior to ask for help. Because in preaching, you have to, hold their hands and tell them from the beginning. So that is question one. The second question is, how can we express our disagreement with our superiors?
Yeah. So the first question is that how do we make them understand in terms of preaching? In when we are going for preaching, we are going on preaching on behalf of Srila Prabhupada and our acharyas. So if we maintain this mood of speaking, advising on behalf of our gurus, then people don't actually mind. Even we are speaking Bhagavad Gita, we even Srila Prabhupada telling that it is Krishna speaking. I am not speaking, I am just simply repeating what Krishna is speaking. It is the Acharya speaking. So in the beginning, we don't claim that I am your spiritual master until unless they have accepted us. And we just represent the acharyas and speak, this is what Srila Prabhupada and our acharyas and Krishna wants. And if you follow it, it will be benefited, it will create benefit in your life. I followed it, I got benefited, you follow it. And slowly, when the person starts following it, then he will understand that I require more guidance to follow, and then he will approach. Some people may stop there only, follow a little bit and leave. They got some benefit, they followed something and they left. But some people will become serious and they want to follow more details, and then they will approach us and say that you tell me what I need to do now. And at that time, with sensitivity, we slowly advise them. So that's how it is. Ki in the beginning, and at all times actually, we are preaching on behalf of our acharyas and gurus. And if we have this attitude while preaching, we will never offend anyone. If we quote scriptures always, if we quote our acharyas always, we will never offend anyone while in the course of our preaching. People will not feel offended because they will see that this person is simply a peon. He has no value in life. He is simply repeating what is Krishna's message. And regarding disagreements, Arjuna is disagreeing to Krishna. Krishna is telling in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita in the beginning that I spoke this message to Surya Dev, and Arjuna is disagreeing. But Arjuna is not challenging. Arjuna is asking, how can I understand this? My intelligence is not able to understand this. Can you please clarify? This is the way of disagreeing with the superior. It's not that whatever superior is telling we have to just close our eyes and yes. That is blind following. Disciples will not be blindly following. Arjuna never blindly followed Krishna. He asked questions. He even asked questions disagreeing to what Krishna spoke. But what mood? He spoke in a way to clarify his understanding, to reform his understanding. He didn't speak that, oh Krishna, you are wrong, I am just going now end the chapter of end Bhagavad Gita now, and 4th chapter ends Bhagavad Gita abruptly because Arjuna denied to accept Krishna's version of the verdict that he spoke it to Suryadev. And Krishna, he asks, and Krishna then explains about himself. Actually, it's a detour. If you see, it is Gyan Yoga, but it's a detour. For some certain period of time, Krishna starts speaking about himself. right? All these verses, yada yada dharmasya, and all these verses Krishna speaks, and then again Krishna comes back to the understanding of the 4th chapter because of the Arjuna's question, right? So we may have disagreements, but we should clarify them humbly, in a mood that I want to understand. My intelligence is not able to understand what you are speaking, how it is good for me. Can you please explain and elaborate how it is good for me? So that's the mode of dealing with superiors, when our mind and intelligence are disagreeing with what they are telling. But we should never blindly follow. If our mind and intelligence is disagreeing with some of things what we have been spoken, it is important to clarify. It's always important to clarify. Ki, I am not able to understand this, how it is good for my life. Please explain to me. It is never recommended that we store it in our heart and it's like burning like a pressure cooker, and then sounds like. And the guru also should be sensitive to help a person, give him that confidence to speak out honestly. If the guru is not sensitive, the relationship will be very closed, and the disciple will be very afraid. If I speak like this, what Prabhuji, what Gurudev will think about it. Okay. Hare Krishna. Yes, Kushal Vihari Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for a very instructive class. And Prabhuji, my question is that sometimes we meet devotees and with different new devotees. New devotees in the sense we have met them first time, and immediately after meeting them, if you spend more time, you see that they start finding they start giving some corrections to you. No, we should not do like this, we should not do like that. So it's very difficult to actually accept, because you have got a certain way of life started living, and then suddenly somebody comes and starts giving instruction, and we have not accepted them as our guru also. We're just being as devotees, and we're trying to be with them. So how to actually face these situations, and how to what should be done in such situations basically?
So that's why the guru sometimes becomes a very, very nice protector for the disciple. So the disciple should say, I will clarify with my spiritual master, and then I would like to follow this. So one time you speak like this to someone, the next time he understands that finished. Next time he will never dare. If he dares, then it's really fool number one. Like someone tells me something and I say that, okay, I will clarify it and I'll get back to you also after clarification. Finished. The next time he would not, because he knows that this person, a disciple who has a guru is considered to be a sati nari. So just like no other person can approach a nari, as soon as the lady says, my husband is there, can I call him? The person says, no, I was thinking something else. No, I can call him. So exactly in the same way, the disciple, as soon as he reveals that, yes, this person is there, I would clarify from him, I will call and check from him. Finished. Just like a lady is not disturbed by any man, as soon as the lady reveals that I have a husband, his husband is there, can I give a call to him? What you are trying to do? So then everyone keeps quiet. Yes, okay, husband is there. So similarly, if a disciple reveals that yes, I am a guru, I will clarify, I accept what you are telling, but I would like to clarify before following it, and I will get back to you. So you respected his opinion, but you gave a very clear cut understanding that you are not accepting him as his guru, and next time he will not speak because he knows that this person has a guru, and he will go to his guru, and he may put me in an embarrassing situation, because if I am wrong and if his superior come to know that I have spoken a wrong thing, then it is improper. So in this way, we just like a duly wedded lady is protected by a husband, the disciples should think that I am protected by my spiritual master. That's what Srimad Bhagavatam, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in the relationship between Kardama and Devahuti, speaks that the relationship between a disciple and a spiritual master is like the disciple, like a chaste lady and a able husband. Just like a chaste lady is protected by the husband, similarly a disciple is protected by the spiritual master. Hare Krishna. Yes,
Thank you.
Arijit Prabhu. Yes, Arijit Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
Yes, Dandavad.
प्रभु जी मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है, what you are saying first Vaishnava etiquette is you should not be self-appointed guru.
Yes.
So प्रभु जी मेरा एक टेंडेंसी है, I only one attitude कि in my nearest family members and colleagues, if I am seeing what they are quoting or what they are doing, it is something wrong, so I could not restricted myself. Somehow I have to, express my opinion and my view. As I said last week in our book reading session with Kushal Prabhu and other devotees, since when I was in Krishna consciousness and I was reading Gita, somehow I am thinking what general public is doing or saying all are wrong. Right? In fact, Prabhuji, you are also saying last day, that morning session, how we have been cheated since childhood. Nobody has said to me that we should be Krishna servant or something like this. Rather, usual instruction is you have to be topper, you have to get a good job. So, general concept and our concept maybe in Krishna consciousness is something different. So, just I am giving you an example. My father took you at my house to hospital. That last yesterday only we are discussing. So he is 81 years old and he is still he's still doing job and he used to travel by public transport. So he was saying, see, देखो मेरा मतलब मैं इस at this age also I am doing this. So this is the this is a boon of my ancestors because of my grandfather. He has done some punya karma and past activities, so that's why I am able to do it. So I said, no, it is for you, due to your karma, your previous birth, previous so many births and this birth, that's why you. This I am giving one example. So this tendency I am having. So this is a contradictory of the first principle of Vaishnava etiquette. I should restricted myself कि जो भी देख रहा हूँ सुन रहा हूँ आप चुप रहो kind of.
Yeah.
Hope I am clear enough.
Yes. So, giving opinion in terms of suggestions is not instruction in becoming a guru. Like, if I speak that I feel this is what it is based on the Shastras, but it's up to you what you follow. Then we are behaving on a level of friend, not we are behaving in the level of an instructing guru or something. People don't feel offended. But we have to be very careful, because sometimes even doing that people offends people, that they think that why he's speaking all these things, he thinks that he has become a great devotee or not, or what. So we have to be very, very careful. We should preach by our own example. When our behavior changes, when our lifestyle changes, when our attitude changes, that will inspire people to ask, what made you change like this? You were never like this. That gives us an opportunity to speak. So definitely preaching is important, and expressing our viewpoints, which is actually proper according to scriptures, is important, but which should inspire others to hear from us by a change of our attitude, a transformation of our attitude and lifestyle. When we become more respectful, when we become more graceful, when we become so filled with gratitude, when we become more appreciative in our relationships with anyone, then that gives them a feeling that yes, Krishna consciousness has changed him. And then they ask questions that yes, please tell me how I can change. I see you have changed. And as far as Father and our superiors are concerned, we should never instruct them, no matter how much ever we become devotee, until unless they tell us. Like whenever my father calls me, until unless he asks me a philosophical question, I never tell him. I just ask, how is your health? How are you? How is the family and all? My father will tell ki, why you are asking all these questions about samsara and maya. I said, no, you tell him, because I know that if I tell him philosophy, then he will feel offended. So I will just tell him about asking questions about how is this person, how is Tauji, how is this and that. And these are all maya, but my father will still answer all the maya questions. And and only when my father comes to temple or in yatra, this time when he had come to temple, we were sitting, and I in the beginning only I said that now I have become a sannyasi. So as a sannyasi, not as your son, I am going to give you some good advice, which is good for you. And speaking that, then I spoke about philosophy, that how he has grown old and how he must really focus on Krishna consciousness, and he's doing that. He's doing that. Entire morning, first half is fully devoted to spiritual life. He's chanting, he's doing the puja and everything. He has restricted his movements now. He's not going out so much, he has gone old also. But I think this is only maybe the first and second time I would have spoken to my father in such explicit way about what he should do. But then I was very, very careful, and I said in the beginning that I am not your son while speaking this. I am Sri Nitai Das. I am a sannyasi, and you are my son. And please hear this good advice. Don't do all these things. You are so fortunate that you're staying in Jagannath Puri. Take this opportunity of stay in Jagannath Puri very seriously. Perform devotional service. I'm not telling you that join ISKCON, but you're fortunate. You are in Jagannath Puri. Do service to Jagannath. And he's doing that. Morning, if you call my father, he will never pick up phone. He keeps his mobile separate and fully doing all his puja, chanting his rounds, and his entire schedule of doing that. Whatever in his own way, may not be completely according to the scriptures, but he does. With great love, the puja to Lord Jagannath. I said to him that we have installed Jagannath and Lakshmi now home, and it's not fitting. I was telling again and again, don't install deities because we have to serve them. And now you're going here and there, roaming around, and who is serving the deities? So he has restricted his movements and is fully focused on serving Lakshmi Jagannath. So because as a sannyasi I can do that, because the dress is of respect and he also treats me like that. But in all other general cases, we never should instruct our superior Tauji, Papaji, Babuji, Mammiji. We should never. We should always remain their son and servant. But never follow them also, because they may give instructions which is not conducive to Krishna consciousness, and remain humble. Right? So.
But Prabhuji, if my father or some nearest relative is quoting something which I know that is against scripture, वो गलत बोल रहा है.
Yes.
So should I mum or tell humbly कि नहीं ये this is contradictory.
So we must humbly say that what I have heard and read from the scriptures is this, and if you have any clarification, you can ask my guru for this. But this is what. But we should never get into arguments. If they're saying no, this is what it is, I said okay, fine, no problem.
मेरा थोड़ा है तो my wife used to tell me यार तुम बहुत arrogant मतलब
So
overreacting
we
हो जाते
should
हो।
always, actually our humility will inspire them to hear from us. Our
Okay, bro.
arrogance restricts us from people hearing from us. Humility will inspire. Rather, there is a verse by Prabodhananda Saraswati which is the foundational principle of preaching. Srila Prabhupada quotes how you should go for preaching. Prabodhananda Saraswati quoting this verse, he says that Dante nidhaya trinakam, Dante nidhaya trinakam. We must put a trina, grass, in our mouth and pay dandabat to those whom we are going to preach. He sadhava, and appreciate him. You are a gentleman, you are a gentleman. Kakusatam, but though you are a gentleman, whatever you have heard till now is all wrong. And I beg to you that you forget them. Chaitanya Chandra Charane Kurutanuraga. You now take shelter of Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet. Don't take shelter of anyone else. But then Prabodhananda Saraswati says that the beginning of preaching is humility. We must be humble in our disposition. So Srila Prabhupada quotes this often whenever his disciples used to ask how we should preach. Srila Prabhupada would quote this verse by Prabodhananda Saraswati. Dante nidhaya trinakam nipatya. By offering obeisances, by becoming humble, and then speak the philosophy. So that will open their hearts because no one behaves so humbly with them. And when their hearts are open, then they would hear. Okay? Hare Krishna. Hare Prabhu. Yes, Madhur Prabhu, last question. Sorry for making you
Hare
wait.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat.
Dandavat.
Thanks again for the very informative session. Prabhuji, whatever we discovered about the ethics of the Vaishnava, normally these rules do apply for corporate world also. But there's another rule also there that in a meeting, if you are not contributing, then you shouldn't be there. Now with that rule, what happens? This Vaishnava aparad or aparad for your seniors keep happening in a meeting. You'll find the rules are flouted here and there. Now Parvati Devi's case, what happened? The curse came immediately, and you know who's cursing and why she's cursing. But in corporate world, what happens? Sometimes person doesn't even know who is cursing, why is cursing, and maybe the curse had come after 3 months or 6 months. So it actually becomes very difficult to handle a situation because in meeting, if you are not contributing, then practically you shouldn't be there. You are not supposed to be there. But the expectation is not about the Vaishnava, but is about the profit and direct the material gain. So there you have to contribute slightly in an aggressive way, and but the punishment comes in the same way one way the Chitraketu faced it. How to overcome this problem? I don't know whether there is a clear answer or not.
Yes. So we also face the same thing while doing meetings, management meetings in ISKCON. So sometimes you know that a person in the meeting is speaking a rubbish proposal and he's your superior. And you have to tell him, and if you don't tell him, the proposal gets approved by vote. It's going to create problems for you also because you are a part of the team. And if you speak, the person may feel offended. If you are aggressive, he will feel more offended. If you are assertive, nahi aisa hi hoga, he will feel offended. That is why instead of hitting to his opinion, we should change the tone of our speech. It's all about tone. and the words. Actually, it's words that shape the entire things. What words you use and what tone you speak. If someone is speaking something which is completely wrong and you have to speak about it, we tell it as it is my personal opinion. We may agree after discussion, whatever. First of all, we must appreciate the proposal. First of all, we must appreciate the proposal. If we have to speak against it, the first thing we have to do is appreciate the proposal. This is Prabodhananda Saraswati's. Like, if you have to instruct him, first become humble. So first we must appreciate the proposal, that yes, this is true, and I'll tell you, every proposal has some good things. That is the beauty of the material world. Material world is designed in such a way that everything has some good and everything has some bad. If we are thinking that one thing has only good, that he is telling is only bad, and what I am telling is only good, this is simply childish behavior. Every proposal, opinion in material world has good, has bad, has advantage, has disadvantage. That's why the material world is called Dvaita, the world of duality. And that actually comes as a saving grace. If someone is telling a proposal which has 80% bad, that means it will going to create a very bad thing to our company, to our organization, to devotees community, then we must first appreciate that 20% good. We must tell, yes, this will create a very good thing, this will create this and that, but I have certain concerns. Can you please tell me how to address these concerns if we accept this proposal? So then put the ball in his court. Instead of telling that what I feel, you tell him that these are my questions. Can you tell me what will happen in this situation? Then hear his answers very, very patiently. Because we are rejecting that proposal because we have something in our mind, right? We have some issues that will come if this proposal is through. So we spoke these issues. We don't speak that proposal is good or bad. We spoke work on these issues, that imagine this happens, what we will do. Right? Imagine this happens, what we'll do. Like, for example, when the installation ceremony was there and we were discussing what to do and all those things, and there was discussion about how we'll have to have a pandal, very nice pandal, and some devotees were feeling that this is the time of Kal Vaishakhi, and there's a lot of storms that come in Calcutta during these times, and it may so happen that our pandal is gone. So how do we manage that? And then we were discussing how to do that and all those things. Some devotees were telling certain things, and finally, with all discussions, we agreed that we'll make the pandal very strong. We will pay more money, but we will make the pandal and not shift the program to some other time, because it's already delayed and we have brought Gaur Nitai for a long time and they have to be installed. Though there is concerns that Kal Vaisakhi may come and our program can be completely flop, and it did came on Saturday. And it was a big mess. But by Lord's mercy, because we worked together cooperatively, it came on Saturday when the main program was over. But there was a big discussion, hot discussion. So we must shift the program and this and that and this and that, so many things. And finally we said that we'll make the strong pandal, we pay more money, but we'll make the pandal and we'll do the program now. So the concerns were addressed. The devotees who were telling that shift the program, this is not the time, and some devotees were telling the mobile towers have become like this in Kal Vaisakhi, what to speak of our pandal. And imagine something happens while we are doing Abhishek and Lord is there and bamboo falls on Lord and all these things, the inauspiciousness, and the deity ministry were telling that if a single inauspicious event happens, then we have to get another set of deities. So it was like, and we were very concerned and we were not knowing, and some devotees were like telling, no, this much should not happen, we must shift the program to some time where there is no Kal Vaisakhi. And some devotees, no, we have already made Gaur Nitai to wait for 1 year, last year we brought him. And when we will do, every time there will be some natural calamity that is like that, and there is complete division. And finally we cooperatively agreed that will make the pandal very strong, and pray to Krishna cooperatively that, oh Krishna, please descend and don't create natural calamity. And it happened because we cooperated together, and there was a discussion, and there was a heated discussion because the time was less, and some devotees were telling already time is less, Kal Vaisakhi is there, shift it. But we all cooperated. We addressed the concerns. We made the pandal very strong. We didn't only use bamboos, we used big tree trunks, big trunks, and it costed us much more than a regular pandal. But we did it. And none of those who actually objected to the proposal of doing it right now in such a short period of time felt offended. So if we address the concerns and not reject the proposal, let the proposal get rejected by the team. Why we should reject the proposal? Then actually the person who came up with the proposal will not feel offended. He will think that entire team rejected the proposal. Sri Nitai Das didn't reject the proposal. So that's how I handle situations, but I do agree that it becomes, in corporate the things come, but in devotees generally when they're out of meeting, they're again friends. So, but in meetings I have seen that sometimes it becomes very, very difficult. So we should put the concerns and ask him only to address these concerns. And if the concerns are addressed nicely, the team agrees. And if the concerns are not addressed properly, the team will also have some opinions, and these concerns will come, yes. And then we never rejected the proposal, we just spoke our concerns.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thanks.
So this is the way we try to handle. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Vancha kalpataru Vaishya kripa sindhu evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.